Access Arts Live with the weekly roundup of this Christmas week of organ recitals and concerts where organs and organists are featured. Because we have, I'm fixing my camera a little bit, several such concerts to tell you about, beginning with one already today, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today is Wednesday, December 18th. There will be a concert featuring an interesting organist and or a highly interesting organ to tell you about. I'm having a bit of glögg, which is what we do during Advent here in Sweden with pepparkakor, gingerbread cookies. Skål. Don't forget to press on the like and subscribe or follow button before we get started, and to repost this to your friends who may also be organ recital lovers. This week, we have organ recitals coming to us from San Diego, and that photo that I have posted here, which you cannot see on Instagram, there's Canon Brian Green in San Diego, there's Thomas Ospital and Baptiste-Florian Marle-Ouvrard in Paris at St. Eustache Cathedral. Then there are going to be several organists appearing at these different concerts, including Anna Vetlugina at the Moscow Cathedral and Thomas Trotter at the Elbphilharmonie concert hall, and one more, Tatiana Andrianova, also in Moscow at the Roman Catholic Cathedral there. So let's get right to what we have, one after the other. Takes me a moment to pull up the photo here. This is Anna Vetlugina. She's the titular organist at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow. She is also a well-known organ composer. And if you go on YouTube, you can find a number of pieces that she's composed being played by other organists, including one recently called Blizzard, appropriately enough for someone who's Russian and lives in Moscow. You could do that here in Stockholm, Sweden, too. Anyway, this is today, Wednesday, December 18th, at noon on the East Coast, 6 o'clock in the evening here in Europe, 9 in the morning on the West Coast, and 8 o'clock in the evening in Moscow time. It's Christmas in Gregorian style. We have already put up a separate post about this, which I invite you to consult. It's Christmas melodies from the Middle Ages through the Baroque periods. I want to talk to you, though, about the organist, Anna Vetlugina, a bit more. She got degrees in composition and in organ at the Moscow Tchaikovsky Conservatory, and then went on to glory from there. She's the winner of several international competition prizes, a member of the Union of Composers of the Russian Federation. She composes all kinds of music, also for film and for theater, mixing in styles from different historical periods. Her music's been performed by soloists at places like the Bolshoi Theater, and she has toured around some, both in Russia and in other parts of Europe. And she's the founder and artistic director of the Canticum Ensemble. And in addition to that, she also plays in a duo. Let me find that picture with Dmitry Maximenko. And here are the two of them, with Hannah looking extremely charming there. And I think I have another photo of her somewhere, which is just her clipped out from there. But here is also another of her publicity photos. This is the organist Anna Vetlugina. And usually the way these Roman Catholic Cathedral concerts work is that there are separate organ pieces in between So this will be a vocal ensemble, cantus laudus, lute, viella, and organ to go with it. The organ in the cathedral in Moscow is of interest. It was originally built for a Protestant cathedral in Basel, Switzerland, who donated it to the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow back in 2002, and there it was installed, all but one pipe, which was a 10-meter, 32-foot pipe, which stayed in Switzerland and became part of the national property of Switzerland. However, the pipe was recreated subsequently in Moscow. It reproduces a tone of 16.35 hertz, the bass note C, 4 octaves below middle C. So you might want to tune in and enjoy that concert. Coming up next after that is Thursday night. Thursday, we move from Moscow to the Elbphilharmonic, which is hosting a choir concert by St. John's College, Cambridge Choir of Christmas carols, English Christmas carols in Hamburg, Germany. Well, of course. Anyway, of interest here, though, is the organist Thomas Trotter, who's a big deal. I show you his picture there. He's such a big deal. They're using his picture on their YouTube box for this concert rather than a picture of the choir. Thomas Trotter has been the City of Birmingham resident organist since 1983, which has also made him the resident organist of the Symphony Hall there on that magnificent Kleis organ that they have. He has won the Royal Philharmonic Society's Instrumentalist Award. He's won the New York chapter of the American Guild of Organists, gave him the International Performer of the Year Award one year. The Royal College of Organists has done the same. This guy is hot stuff. Not only that, but this concert is of great interest also because of what I want to show you now. This is something you may not have seen the likes of. This is the organ, or the pipework of the organ. It's built into the concert hall. It too is a Kleis organ, and it was built into the concert hall. In some places, the audience could actually turn around and touch the pipes beside them or behind them. We give you the link so you can have the details. As we do with all of this kind of thing, so you can have the details about the organ. What I can tell you is that it has 4,765 pipes, and we will give you the link to exactly how many stops, etc. it has for those of you who are real organ aficionados. I think it's worth tuning in. I'd be very surprised if Thomas Trotter doesn't do a few solo pieces during that concert. That would surprise the heck out of me. I don't think he's gone there to play their Kleis organ just to accompany the choir. But it could be that way. I can't make any promises. Then, Friday night, one more of these concerts that I want to tell you about. I hope you don't mind. We are back on Friday night, back at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Moscow with Tatiana Andrianova. And this is a concert. The concert on Wednesday was Gregorian through the Baroque period with just a little Baroque. This one is all Baroque, and there are soloists from the Moscow Virtuosi Chamber Orchestra participating, and they're doing work by Bach, Telemann, Vivaldi, that kind of thing. But Tatiana Andrianova is something of a specialist in this kind of musical effort. She spent 10 years, roughly, at the Moscow Conservatory all through the 1990s, studying both organ, but Russian music, the history of Russian music, and harpsichord. And she then in 2001, soon after graduating, she was hired to work as an accompanist and organist at the large academic choir of the Russian State Music Television Radio Center. So she's been at the heart of organ playing in Russian society for 20 years. Started doing when she got out of school and just kept doing it. She also works with the chamber choir of the Moscow Conservatory and with the Moscow State University Chamber Orchestra. So she's interested in this kind of chamber music and also in Baroque period music. I would say it's nothing to sneeze at. And this will be available on Friday. We will be putting out, we have already put out prepared separate notices about each of these concerts. So you can, if you follow our page, you'll also see those notices coming out as reminders when the time comes. Now we can move on to the actual, strictly speaking, organ recitals coming up in this week before and during Christmas. The first of these is with, if you've been following us, our old friend, Canon Martin Green at St. Paul's Cathedral in San Diego, California. Every Friday at 1 o'clock San Diego time, which is 4 o'clock on the East Coast in the U.S., and 10 o'clock in Europe, Canon Martin Green works his magic on the organ at St. Paul's Cathedral. It was an Aeolian Skinner organ, Opus 1495, built in 1969, but it was entirely rebuilt in 2012 by Quimby Pipe Organs, Opus 68. It has 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 115 draw knobs, and 4,933 pipes. They never tell us what Martin Green is going to be playing, but he is one of the most articulate, engaging organist I know, at least among those doing live streaming. It always gives great explanations of the pieces he's chosen, why he likes them, what's interesting about them, without leaving you behind in the musicological dust, so to speak, as some other experts do. So that is a pure Christmas recital. I expect it's the Episcopal Cathedral in San Diego. I expect he'll be playing Christmas music, but I cannot promise you that because they don't tell us. Then for Christmas week itself, there will be 3 live stream organ recitals coming to you from Paris, France. Sunday, December 22nd, resident organist at St. Eustache Church. And if you ask me, an innate showman, Baptiste-Florian, Marle-Ouvrard, even his name is dramatic, will be featured in St. Eustache's weekly live stream, playing, appropriately enough, Christmas compositions by noted organist composers in the great French tradition. On the St. Eustache organ, which is mechanically, technically equal to that of the Notre Dame Cathedral organ, in that it has 5 manuals, over 100 stops, and 7,952 pipes, just like the Notre Dame Cathedral organ. So, we've had comments from some people in response to our live streams telling us they think St. Eustache Church's organ is better than the one at Notre Dame, and it's the greatest one they've ever heard. We give you a link to more of the details about the composition of that particular organ for those of you who are complete organ experts. I don't claim to be that, but I'm a live stream enthusiast, and I've been learning a lot about organ by promoting these organ recital live streams. What will Marle-Ouvrard be playing? He'll be playing Noël 7 and Noël 10 by Louis-Claude Daquin, an 18th century French organist composer. He'll be playing a Pastoral by César Franck, it's always good to hear. And he'll be playing Variations sur un Noël, variations on a Christmas theme by Marcel Dupré. These are all excellent pieces in the French tradition. It can be a lovely way to spend your afternoon. Hundreds of people show up for these organ recitals on 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the center of Paris every week because the organist like Baptiste-Florian, Marle-Ouvrard are so good, and the selections are so good, and the organ is so good. We move on to the next recital, coming to you also from St. Eustache Church. Where is this one? Here it is. On December 25th, it's Christmas in the heart of Paris at the St. Eustache Church, just as it is in the hearts of Christians around the world. And their way of expressing it is by bringing in one of their resident cathedral organists, Thomas Ospital, who is also a professor of organ at the Auguste Paris Music Conservatory, to play a music recital for you on that great organ in the St. Eustache Church, which has as many stops and pipes and as much size, roughly, as the great organ at Notre Dame Cathedral, and which, according to some people, is even better than the organ at Notre Dame Cathedral. In any event, Thomas Ospital will be playing at the usual time on Christmas Day, as when they play on Sundays. It will be at 5 o'clock in the evening, Paris time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast in the U.S., and 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. You can get up on Christmas morning, early or late in America, and share some lovely Christmas music played on an organ in the heart of Paris, certainly with love. Because I tell you, as a performing artist, we all do what we do for love on Christmas Day. Isn't that great? He'll be playing Noël 4 by Louis-Claude Dacan, an 18th century French composer. Prologue et Noël varié, a prologue and variations on a Christmas theme by Pierre Pinsemaille, who's a modern composer who just passed away 5-6 years ago, 2018. And then he will conclude with Dieu parmi nous, God among us, by Olivier Messiaen. And it's hard to do better than Messiaen on an organ, especially in France. We'd like you to consider this Audition d'orgue de l'Église Saint-Eustache, this organ recital live stream from the St. Eustache Church, as our way at Access Arts Live as well, of wishing you a very merry live stream Christmas. And as the song says, let your heart be light. Finally, as Christmas week will finally come to an end, on December 29th, at the end of Christmas week, Sunday at 5 in the evening, as usual, at 11 in the morning, at Paris time, 11 in the morning on the East Coast in the U.S., 8 in the morning on the West Coast, the St. Eustache Church will be live streaming for you an organ recital with Christmas accents. It has music by Bach and Debussy, but also some Christmas-themed Tchaikovsky transcriptions. The organist will be the one I always refer to as a showman, Baptiste-Florian Marle-Ouvrard. Let me make sure that I have the right photo up for you for Baptiste-Florian Marle-Ouvrard. And you'll forgive me, but I have to rewind this because we may use this clip. Later on to promote this particular live stream. So let's start this again. Forgive me. I think we only have one person watching. There'll be a lot more people who watch the replay. Sunday, December 29th, as the Christmas week comes to an end, St. Eustache Church will be live streaming an organ recital by their resident organist, the showman Baptiste-Florian Marle-Ouvrard, whose photograph you see there. How do I know he's a showman? First of all, every time they do another one of these promotional pictures to advertise their concerts, you see Marle-Ouvrard in a different pose in a different part of the church. How else do I know that he's a showman? I have this other great photo of Marle-Ouvrard. Let me see if I can find the entire photo for you, because it's a terrific photo. I used it in the composite at the beginning, but I would rather show you the whole picture if I can find it. Do I have it categorized under? Yeah, here's Marle-Ouvrard. This is Marle-Ouvrard stretched out on the 5 manual the keyboard of this massive organ at St. Eustache Church, just sort of lolling around. Okay. Another thing you will also find is that at his recitals he wears red socks. And that's not because it's Christmas time. He wears red socks because he knows there's a separate camera on his feet. And so he wants you to see his feet with red socks on them. He doesn't wear them in daily life, I'm sure. So anyway, that's Baptiste-Florian, Marle-Ouvrard. Now, what is he going to be playing on the 29th? Well, he's going to play some Bach, a toccata, adagio, and fugue in D major. No, in C major. BWV 564, for those of you who are aficionados, actually count those. He'll play Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune, of course, and then he'll play some Tchaikovsky to have some final Christmas notes before we leave off the Christmas season. There'll be extracts from Casse-Noisette, as the French call it. The Nutcracker is what everybody else calls it. A march, the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, and the Valse des Fleurs, the flower, the waltz of the flowers. And so that I can commend that to you on December 29th to close off your Christmas week. I don't know if we're going to be back again talking about organ recitals before the new year. We do not know that there will be so many that we could justify taking the time to do so. So I do want to take a moment, especially to those of you who follow us, who are lovers of organ recitals. Because we replay this live stream to about a dozen organ recital lovers on different Facebook groups. We appreciate the fact that you follow us, that you sometimes like it. I want to encourage you, if you are discovering us for the first time, please do follow us. We do a weekly roundup of all the organ recitals we can find for you, live streams only, not recordings, just the real live stuff. And then we also do daily reminders during the week in case you forget, and on the weekend, because who's going to remember, days in advance that a particular live stream is happening? If you follow us on Facebook or YouTube or X or Instagram or TikTok or Threads or LinkedIn, then you'll be clued into all this all the time. And we'd especially love it if you'd follow us on YouTube and or Facebook, because we're trying to build up those audiences so that we can start monetizing this channel. Skål. Just a little bit of Christmas glug. So we thank you for following us. We want to wish you a very merry live streaming Christmas. Express the hope that our live streams, since we started doing this in June, we've promoted over 508 different live streams, including about 96 different organ recitals. Hope that one or more or any of them has been inspiring or uplifting for you, or just shown you a great time. And with that, I'll just wish you a Merry Christmas and au revoir. And we will see each other surely in the new year as the live streams start up again all over Europe and the United States. Ciao and Joyeux Noël, as the French say.